Independence investigation found that Governor Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women, many of whom were young women, by engaging in unwanted groping, kisses, hugging, and by making inappropriate comments. Further, the governor and his senior team took actions to retaliate against at least one former employee for coming forward with her story, her truth. And Governor Cuomo's administration fostered a toxic workplace that enabled harassment and created a hostile work environment where staffers did not feel comfortable coming forward with complaints about sexual harassment due to a climate of fear and given the power dynamics.
So right there is Letitia James, the Attorney General of the state of New York, telling you that she just completed a resoundingly thorough investigation into the complaints that were lodged by 11 different women. And based on not just the complaints by 11 different women, but based on 179 interviews, text messages, documents, current and former members of the legislature, and a state trooper who also claimed the state trooper was assigned to Governor Cuomo's personal detail to protect him. Okay. And one of the state troopers was a female state trooper who said that, and you don't have to say alleged anymore. She said that Governor Cuomo literally took his finger and ran it down her back while they were in an elevator and said, "Hey, you." And then at another time, he literally placed his hand somewhere between her chest and her private parts and, like went over her body in that way. And so this is the type of almost bulletproof evidence that has been brought against Governor Andrew Cuomo by people he works with, by former people he worked with, by state legislators, both current and former, by 179. And of course, the loony right wing wants to talk about Tara Reade, which is an amazing thing. Because there's no documentation, there are no emails, there's no text messages, there's no witnesses, there's no other women that ever worked in Joe Biden's office that said that Joe Biden did anything but go to work, get on the Amtrak, and go home every night. That there was a very, good environment for women. That there's no evidence, okay? And Tara Reade's own acquaintances say she is deceitful, deceptive, and kind of crazy. All right, so that's what the right wing wants to talk about. How sick is that? Democrats, on the other hand, this is not how we play the game. If you are accused, and there are 179 interviews, text messages, former and current employees of yours say it was a toxic, hostile work environment, when there's evidence of retaliation against at least one of these women, when another one of these women say that they understood the power dynamic was such that while they wanted to serve in public service, working in that office made it nearly impossible to continue, and so they had to just disappear themselves and stop going to work every day. And there are 10 other complaints just like yours. Democrats want you, regardless of your party affiliation, to resign. And it is time now for the state legislature of New York to begin impeachment proceedings against Governor Andrew Cuomo. That's just the way it is. Because Republicans will tolerate any single thing, anything at all, from an insurrection, a coup, disloyalty to your own constitution, craziness, white supremacy, announcements that it's time to kick some ass and take down names ahead of a insurrection. Sexual assault victims coming one after the other, and those sexual assault victims, these here are sexual harassment victims. However, the Trump victims claim being inspected as teenagers at, Miss Teen USA, him actually having, staffers tell these young teenage girls, be very nice to him. He owns the pageant. Who are you going to complain to? He owns it. You have E. Jean Carroll, who obviously said she was raped by Donald Trump in a dressing room at Bergdorf's in New York. You have several other women who also claim that he put his hand underneath their dresses. And you have him saying, when you're a celebrity, you can do anything you want to, including, and you know the rest, grab them by the, right? So why in the world do you, I guess that's why they think that Democrats are just like them. They're just like them. And so if somebody with a D after their name in a powerful position has 179 interviews conducted to find out the veracity of 11 women's complaints against them, and the veracity is high, meaning they're telling the truth and it's documentable on their text messages to back up their allegations, and former and other employees of this, particular person with a D after their name are testifying the same way and saying, yeah, he created this really horrible, toxic environment. And, everybody knew he had a really bad temper. And if you said anything, that didn't go along with what he wanted said, he would retaliate against you. He would intimidate you. He'd yell at you. He'd fire you. He'd somehow sidetrack your career. He would get it. When you have people in droves saying the same damn thing, Democrats don't care what's after your name. They don't give a damn if it's a D or an R. And that, my friends, is one of the major differences between Democrats and Republicans. That's just the fact, okay? And I don't know why anybody expects any other thing.
Over the course of the 5-month investigation, the investigators spoke to 179 individuals, including complainants, current and former members of the executive chamber, state troopers, additional state employees, and others who interacted regularly with the governor. In addition, they reviewed more than 74,000 pieces of evidence, including documents, emails, texts, audio files, and pictures.
Oh.
These interviews and pieces of evidence reveal a deeply disturbing yet clear picture. Governor Cuomo sexually harassed current and former state employees in violation of both federal and state laws.
Okay, so you might be asking, if he violated state and federal laws, will there be a criminal case? No. Sexual assault is easier, right? Sexual harassment is still really, really freaking difficult, especially the federal statutes about sexual harassment in the workplace. Most likely there will be civil actions for damages brought by any of these 11 women whose names have been cleared today as being truth tellers. Okay? Cuomo was on the TV denying it almost in real time. And, saying, oh, I never intended to hurt anybody. There's cultural differences. I'm 63 years old. And back in the day, it was okay to grope, or he didn't say grope. He said it's okay to kiss. It was okay to hug. It was okay to make inappropriate comments. So just for clarity, these allegations were made in 2020. This is after the Me Too movement was clearly a thing. It was clearly a movement. It was clearly unacceptable. You didn't make the cultural shift. Is that what your defense is going to be? Good luck with that. Good luck.